I am Kesten Rono. Today is day 105 of A Course in Miracles. What are we here for? We seek but what belongs to us in truth. God's gifts of joy and peace are all we want. We seek true vision, curiosity about miracles. And we begin by reviewing Principle 35. Miracles are expressions of love, but they may not always have observable effects. Miracles are expressions of love, but they may not always have observable effects. Is this a cop-out? If we can't see the proof, then it's not real? What would be the alternative? Okay, miracles are not expressions of love because I cannot see their effects. This is not reality. There is no love here. So miracles do not exist. I suppose you get to choose, and you can take either one out into the infinite. This book suggests that miracles are expressions of love, but they may not always have observable effects. Perhaps this is variable upon our definition of seeing as well. Seeing with true vision would allow us to be uniting with the vibration of love and seeing love for what it is, where it is, everywhere, in all things. If we are not seeing yet with true vision, and therefore the miracle has some effect for us because it is showing us that there is something beyond our current system. Pausing here for a moment, that if we are beyond the miracle and living in oneness with ourselves, in oneness from this spiritually affirmed mindset with God, connected in mind and thought to God, the miracle perhaps does not exist there. I mean, it is the miracle in real time. We are the miracle. We see ourselves as such. And maybe there is some other concept here that is not being discussed yet that I do not understand, or maybe that's another step of learning within this idea that we're proposing. But if the miracle does not exist, suggesting that there is nothing beyond the current system, again, from the perspective of true vision, then already another framing of peace is upon us. That we're not left wondering what else there is. Imagine not seeking more knowledge or truth across time because you are beyond time. You no longer need new knowledge. It's not that you're missing something and are hoping, therefore, for greater meaning. You know all meaning because you see in truth, eternally, timeless, wholly unchanged, unconditional love. What is it like to live in a system that does not require the miracle? The miracle, therefore, of seeing life through your holiness rather than through your cycle of attacks and upsets, your illusions. What is it like in a world where there is nothing to forgive and nothing from which to save yourself? I mean, I suppose that perspective is already a step closer to love from seeing whatever it is that you cannot possibly forgive and that you need someone else to save you from. From there, we could see that maybe we are living in a world where we could not forgive, we must attack. And because we are done unto regularly, we need the help of someone else to pitch to us a plan of saving. All it requires, of course, is that we give up more of ourselves to be saved, that we go to war to find peace. And then there is the perspective of, oh, I have the power to forgive, and maybe I'm curious about what this offers me and what it offers the person whom I forgive. Oh, I have sovereignty of mind. Therefore, I seek salvation through my own feelings and letting them go and being curious about whatever is. And then perhaps there is something beyond that membrane of forgiveness and salvation into the world where whatever it was that needed to be forgiven, or whatever it was, if we go further back, that we could not possibly forgive, or whatever it was that we needed someone else to save us from, or whatever it was that we ultimately saved ourselves from, there is a realm there. Well, if this is where love is, and the miracles are expressions of love permeating into our way of currently seeing through this membrane of forgiveness and of salvation, then what would the miracle even serve in this realm of timelessness? From where would it even need to permeate? And what is greater than the truth? What is greater than the unconditional love? What could be more constant than either one? I don't know. I don't know a constant idea that could be more constant than constant. It is what it is, after all. It is what it is. Perhaps here we are making peace with the idea that the only constant might be change. That whatever was will never be, and that we are making peace with the principles around miracles and love and truth. So I guess it's up to you to decide. Is it true that miracles are expressions of love, but they may not always have observable effects? Or is it true for you that miracles could not be expressions of love? They are not real, because right now I'm looking and I don't see one. I don't see any love here. Therefore, you are a liar. And you live in a realm where you are saying that those purporting an idea of love that just cannot be seen yet, because we are in some realm of believing we must attack and that we need some other savior, or because we are becoming aware of ourselves and yet we have not allowed ourselves to forgive and feel what that is, or to recognize that we have the power to save ourselves with our own sovereignty of mind. If we are still in this realm, perhaps we might believe that unconditional love is not a real thing. I choose to accept that miracles are expressions of love, even if I cannot see them. What is the harm in believing that miracles are expressions of love? I seek but what belongs to me in truth, and joy and peace are my inheritance. God's gifts of joy and peace are all I want. Lesson 105. God's peace and joy are mine. Yesterday again we said, I seek but what belongs to me in truth, that we only are curious about what is true and truly ours. If it's not truly ours, we do not want it, we do not need it, we do not care to assign ourselves to that energy of claiming something that is not ours or selling something that we do not have. No, we want to know and become these things in truth. Today we say, God's peace and joy are mine. God's peace and joy are yours. Please repeat after me. God's peace and joy are mine. God's peace and joy are yours. Today we will accept them, knowing they belong to us. And we will try to understand these gifts increase as we receive them. How could they increase as we receive them? It is a blessing to give and to receive. They are not like to the gifts the world can give, in which the giver loses as he gives the gift. The taker is the richer by his loss. These are not material things. I have this bookmark. I give you this bookmark. I'm short one bookmark. You're up one bookmark. If bookmarks have extreme value, then you have value and I have none. Such are not gifts, but bargains made with guilt. The truly given gift entails no loss. The truly given gift entails no loss. It is impossible that one can gain because another one loses. Thank you. It is impossible that one can gain because another one loses. It is impossible to believe in peace through a trajectory of war. That is not peace. The entire world is an ecosystem, and if you are causing destruction inside of it, you are not creating peace. You are not creating peace. Every great warrior that we would look up to would know that their skill is for defense should someone attack. Their skill is something to hone and love and appreciate, not something to exercise over a teacher or a brother or a stranger just because. There's not even any sport in that. That is destruction. That is misuse of this skill. It is impossible that one can gain because another loses. This implies a limit and an insufficiency. No gift is given thus. Such gifts are but a bid for a more valuable return, a loan with interest to be paid in full, a temporary lending meant to be a pledge of debt to be repaid with more than was received by him who took the gift. This is usury. This is usury. This is frowned upon in some religions. This strange distortion of what giving means pervades all levels of the world you see. It strips all meaning from the gifts you give and leaves you nothing in the ones you take. Imagine giving and say, now you owe me one. Maybe it's fun against friends, amongst friends, against friends. Imagine giving for giving's sake. Imagine erasing this ledger. It's okay, of course. What will you take with you in the end? Only you as the physical would believe that you can hoard enough or create enough IOUs to be able to have more, but you are selling lack. This is the idea of every central bank bankrupting its host nation by selling it debt with a figure that it does not have, and arguably a power bestowed upon it that Congress never had the right to give. This is the idea of taking a loan from a bank even. Hopefully, if you're a farmer, you take a loan and buy a tractor. But if you buy a Ferrari, well, you'll have to find a new way to create productivity because you fundamentally owe more than you were lent. What does that say about the lender? Well, they gave something they did not have. Now, if they had deposits from people seeking an opportunity to be able to increase productivity in society, that could be a different conversation. But when you take a loan from a bank, it is created out of thin air. It's created out of thin air. And the person who lent it to you, who calls it a service, expects you to pay them interest upon that thing. And if you do not pay, well, they can seize your real assets. It's a threat of force, of course. And you are indebted spiritually, mentally, and you will physically toil for an imaginary idea because of a contract you agreed to, where someone told you that because things are becoming more expensive in life, because more units of whatever it is you're denominating it in, more units chasing the same amount of goods and services, therefore prices rising. Because prices are rising, in food we call that bad, in houses we've been trained to call that good, even though they deteriorate over time. They're depreciating assets that we say, oh, we must invest our life savings in. So you take a 30-year mortgage, and it's great. You have the utility of the home. But if you miss a payment, if you become delinquent, the bank who created an idea of currency out of thin air, transferring it from nowhere to your account, not using real deposits agreed upon by other people putting their money within that bank, instead lending those out 10 to 1 or seeking some other gain somewhere else, investing in debt of the government sold to them by some other larger bank of which they are a member. Can you feel how confusing this is? It is selling what you do not have, borrowing from someone who is selling something they do not have to give to you so that you risk something very real that you hope you can maintain over the course of 30 years while you pay on top of the invisible that you received. Someone is selling you an illusion so you can buy an illusion. It's something real, of course, but is it really worth that rising cost over time if you left it alone and it would fall apart? Homes are wonderful. Shelter is, of course, desirable. But this is a system built upon selling what someone does not have and expecting even more in return. It breaks down from the very, very, very first loan. You give me more than has been created. How will you repay it? You will have to go find more from somebody else who will have to borrow to give it to you. And thus, this dark loop is created, and we are looking for light. Where is it? It is realigning ourselves back to what is the natural. And here we are thinking about this idea of ourselves from the invisible, the spiritual, what is naturally yours, God's peace and joy, of course. You cannot give what you do not have. This strange distortion of what giving means pervades all levels of the world you see. It strips all meaning from the gifts you give and leaves you nothing in the ones you take. A major learning goal this course has set is to reverse your view of giving so you can receive. For giving has become a source of fear, and so you would avoid the only means by which you can receive. Accept God's peace and joy, and you will learn a different way of looking at a gift. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away, but they increase thereby. When you're building in truth, when you're offering peace and love and joy and abundance and patience and anything else that you can imagine is part of the unconditional love, that realm. If you have it and you offer it to somebody, you don't lose it. In fact, you gain more by seeing someone else blossom. In truth, these compound. In illusion, in darkness, where the bottom is falling out, built on top of a lie, offering something that does not exist and expecting even more in return. Even the lender is theoretically creating an idea of indebtedness for themselves. They need all these favors to come back in order for their power to feel true. And everyone who took a loan has to give back more than they ever received because they bought something that doesn't exist yet from the future to today. They are removing their abundance and their ability to discover it. I can understand if that is very nuanced and complicated and you would have a rebuttal, and I would be pleased to listen. But there is a natural law that you cannot sell what you do not have. You cannot give what you do not have. Or destruction is created. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away. They but increase thereby. You can offer someone love and no more love. This is compounding in truth. If you're building an illusion, your foundation is shaky, and it can only get so big before it crumbles. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gift to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and peace as yours. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gift to you. Okay. I have been driving myself insane. Here are the things that I find upsetting. I'm willing to forgive them and let the others go. What else is there? I accept peace and joy into my heart. I wish to know them in truth and share them. That's what we are saying. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gift to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and peace as yours. Why? Mom, I am so happy. May I please show you my happiness? In this case, I am the Creator offering this to my mother. My mother, who loves me and would want the best for me, is feeling my happiness, and she feels happy. Have I lost any happiness by seeing my mother happy for seeing me happy? No. My joy grows, of course. In this same way, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and peace as yours. True giving is creation. True giving is creation. Can you feel why? Because it compounds. I show you love in truth. I show you peace and joy that I accept from God. Therefore, I can offer it because I know what it is. I do not lose it because it is not material. And I'm not worried about you giving me something back because I know the truth. If I knew perfect happiness, what could I lose in perfect happiness? You could lose perfect happiness, you might say, if you gave it all away. How would I give it away? I'm perfectly happy. Please take what you need. Because it's a state of mind, and our state of being is a reflection of our state of mind, of course. True giving is creation. If I know perfect peace, perfect happiness, joy, freedom from worry, and I offer the light of this to you, my light is not dimmed. In fact, you may compound your light, and thus I have created more peace and joy. True giving is creation. It extends the limitless to the unlimited, eternity to timelessness, and love unto itself. I love that. True giving is creation. It extends the limitless to the unlimited. The unlimited. That is God's love, and yet I am giving it to you. The unlimited is growing in limitless. Eternity to timelessness. There is infinite time. We are beyond time. What could be greater than beyond time? May we extend into eternity. Not just timelessness, but foreverness. And love unto itself. It adds to all that is complete already, not in simple terms of adding more, for that implies that it was less before. It adds by letting what cannot contain itself fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away, securing it forever for itself. Okay, perhaps what I was saying, yes, if I love myself and I offer that idea of love outwardly, then you love yourself, then we've added one more to the tally of love. But if I love myself in the unconditional love, if I can see it that way, it already is unconditional. It is supreme, and yet we can grow it. It is not the same as having one bookmark and then having two. No, the bookmark would be timeless, limitless, and yet I share it. You did not have it, but I share it. True giving is creation. It extends the limitless to the unlimited, eternity to timelessness, and love unto itself. It adds to all that is complete already, not in simple terms of adding more, for that implies that it was less before. It adds by letting what cannot contain itself fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away. I cannot even contain myself. I am abundant. I am overflowing. It adds by letting what cannot contain itself fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away. That is what I would like to know as abundance. I never even need to look into my well. I can scoop and scoop and scoop. Please have more clean water. Please feel refreshed. Please feel bathed. I can't even do anything with this water. I have so much. Yes. It adds by letting what cannot contain itself, my overfilling well, fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away, securing it forever for itself. A cycle. Forever. Limitless. Limitless to the unlimited, eternity to timelessness, and love unto itself. Today, accept God's peace and joy as yours. Let him complete himself as he defines completion. You will understand that what completes him must complete his Son as well. He cannot give through loss, no more can you. Receive his gift of joy and peace today, and he will thank you for your gift to him. God, the infinite, the eternal, blossoming at all times, so full, asking you to receive his love so you could be so full that you are asking for others to please receive your love. Can you see it? Or do you believe that when you give, you must be in lack? Today, our practice periods will start a little differently. Begin today by thinking of those brothers who have been denied by you the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. Here you denied them to yourself, and here you must return, claim to them as your own. So we are going to be thinking about others whom we believe we have denied peace and joy. Today, we will begin by thinking of those brothers who have been denied by you. So someone that you believe you have kept, withheld peace and joy, that if they are your right, they are their right. Who have been denied by you the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. If you're championing equality, or you hear yourself saying equity, what do you really mean? We want equality of opportunity for everybody. You have the opportunity to know peace and joy. We don't want to cut off little pieces and distribute them equally to everybody. In this case, some are equal, but those cutting the pieces are more equal. No, everyone, your brothers and sisters, those other people in the world to whom you have denied peace and love because you have been afraid. It is okay. As you're letting go of your fear, you can offer them peace and joy. This is their right under the equal laws of God. Don't fall for a trick of someone claiming equity is the way. You want equal opportunity to notice peace and love, because nobody can take this from you and nobody need distribute it to you. Here you denied them to yourself, and here you must return to claim them as your own. You claim them as your own by noticing your peace and your love, your abundance, it overflowing. And you want the same for someone else, so you offer it to them. There is nothing that you need to be afraid of anymore. And as you see that you can release this fear, you can show more and more and more love and laugh along the way. Of course, you actually want peace for those you felt that you needed them to know lack instead. It's okay if you don't need to do everything with them today, but you may still offer them forgiveness, peace, and love. Because if all minds know peace and love, what could anything be under threat of ever again? Constantly feeling God's peace and love overflowing, such that they too would want to give it away. So please reflect on those from whom you have kept your peace and your love. Think of your enemies, it quotes, a little while, and tell each one as he occurs to you, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. Please repeat this statement after me. My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. Why? You must find peace and joy in your heart. And if you are still subscribing to some idea that if someone else had peace and joy, then you would be in lack, then you have not found peace and joy. To offer peace and joy to somebody else, you must know it. And here we are practicing giving, forgiving, undoing the way we have been thinking in lack and fear. And if someone else may know peace and joy, and they may know it abundantly, they will offer it, and you will notice it. We must enter into this reciprocal cycle rather than one of attack and lack. Please repeat after me one more time. My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. Thus, you prepare yourself to recognize God's gift to you, and let your mind be free of all that would prevent success today. Now, you are ready to accept the gift of peace and joy that God has given you. Let your mind be free of all that would prevent success today. Now you are ready to accept the gift of peace and joy that God has given you. Now you are ready to experience the joy and peace you have denied yourself. Now you can say, God's peace and joy are mine. Please say this one time. God's peace and joy are mine. For you have given what you would receive. May you know peace and joy, so you may offer it in truth, giving what you have, knowing what you are, and knowing that you do not lose it by sharing it. You must succeed today. You must succeed today if you prepare your mind as we suggest. For you have let all bars to peace and joy be lifted up, and what is yours can come to you at last. So tell yourself, God's peace and joy are mine. Please say it again. God's peace and joy are mine. And close your eyes a while and let his voice assure you that the words you speak are true. What a relaxing invitation. God's peace and joy are mine. Close your eyes in the name of peace and joy and let God's words speak to you. May you feel peace and joy. Let his voice assure you that the words you speak are true. Spend your 5 minutes thus with him each time you can today, but do not think that less is worthless when you cannot give him more. Do not think that less is worthless when you cannot give him more. Just spend the time you believe you can when you believe you can with God. At least remember hourly to say the words which call to him to give you what he wills to give and wills you to receive. Determine not to interfere today with what he wills. He wills you peace and joy, to see life through your holiness, to know love in the unconditional. Determine not to interfere today with what he wills. And if a brother seems to tempt you to deny God's gift to him, see it as but another chance to let yourself receive the gifts of God as yours. If someone is upsetting you, or you believe they are wronging you, maybe. But do they own your mind? Or do you know peace and joy? And would you dare extend it to them? Hey, I caught myself. I was ready for another attack thought. My brother. And when you can see someone as your brother, even if they cannot understand, I wish you peace and joy. May you be well, and notice it within yourself, as I have the responsibility to know it with myself. In this way, I seek it, and in this way, I know it better than I did before, and in this way, to the fullest way that I know it, I offer it to you. May you multiply the limitless with me. Then bless your brother thankfully and say, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. One more time. My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. I am Kesten Rono. I am grateful for you. Thank you for seeing this. I offer you, my brother, peace and joy, so I may notice it too. Please, please, help me see my light. May I raise you up and may you raise me up. May we be our own saviors and notice our abundance of the unconditional is love in the name of truth. God's peace and joy are yours. God's peace and joy are mine.